Well, welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to Aiden Crow Productions. Today, we're in a different spot. Today, we're going to do a different video. Today, we're just going to sit, relax, and we're going to talk a little bit about deer season. I know a lot of you guys wonder what kind of hunter I am, if I'm a trophy hunter, if I'm just a meat hunter, and I'm sure you all wondered. And, you guys all watched the video that I was over at the hunting property and I talked about this buck I shot. Well, I think I decided today we're actually going to sit down and we're going to talk about that buck that I shot. And that means a lot to me and holds a lot in here. And the buck we're talking about is Sneakers, which is right up here. The story of Sneakers, and how it all started. Well, this buck was unique to me. The story all starts in August of 2025. When I set my cameras up, I had him. I didn't get nothing. I didn't get him for maybe a week after I set cameras up. I set a camera up, and about a week later, he showed up on camera. And he was a buck right at the end. Well, he was a buck that I never named for until about deer season. Until he got about a week close to deer season, I never really named him. I didn't have a name. Was really never big into naming deer until the last couple of years, watching a lot of Seek One episodes and watching bucks that they track on cameras. And then they got me big into cameras. They got me big into cellular. Like I'm sure a lot of you guys run those. A bunch of cell cams. But he got me big into cell. And so I set one up. I got him on my phone. And I got him daylighting every day. About this time of day. Every day. And I'd have him weeks and weeks and weeks. And then he'd go dormant for about a day. He'd go missing for a day. Then he'd show up and then he'd show up 2 days later. Or he'd go missing a week. And then he wouldn't show up at all. And then he finally showed up again for about after a week and a couple days. Well, and he was always right on time. Every day he did it, and he did it for almost 3 weeks straight. About 7 o'clock every day, right on the dot. Well, and here we are now. We're now into it'd be September we got this, because August. So now here we are in the last month. We're in the last week until opener day of bow season, which is October 1st here in the state of Michigan. Well, I watched cameras heavily because I knew I'm going hunting. I mean, my hunting day is, I'm going hunting. What day was it? It was Wednesday. Opening day was on Wednesday this year. I'm like, I'm going hunting Wednesday. Like, I have to know exactly what stand I'm going to sit in that day to hopefully be set up to kill him. But you're here later on in the story. It didn't really happen on October 1st, but it did happen on even just another special day here. But came down a week before season, and he was popping up every night. Boom, 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 boom. Daylight clockwork. About 8 o'clock, about 7 o'clock, 7:30 every night. Boom, 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 boom. He comes down to opening day. I hunt a different stand that morning. I come home in the afternoon, and I shoot the compound for a while. To keep getting dialed in, just making sure I'm on and still accurate. I go sit this stand after Sneakers. I go sit the stand. I go sit the camera. He has been showing up to every day like clockwork. I sit that spot. First night, I see absolutely nothing. No, I seen 3 does. Like, oh, all right, well, it's all right. The next day, I go to school, I get out, I go hunting. I sit that spot again because Sneakers did not show up that night at all. He went dormant. Well, I go out, and I was gonna sit and wait for Sneakers, but I ended up taking my first compound kill, which was just a pretty decent sized doe. It was a pretty big doe. And I shot her out of that stand, and I'm like, well, this stand is busted now. This is now a Thursday. This stand is busted for a couple days because I'm like, do I wait for sneakers or do I shoot a doe? I'm like, well, being this early, I shoot a doe, so that way when it comes down later, I keep that doe around. Because eventually sneakers has to show up if I'm chasing a doe. So I get to that doe nice and quietly. I walk to it nice and quietly. I get it out nice and quietly. And then I let that stand sit. I let it sit for about 3 to 4 days. Sneakers have been showing up. He's been showing up at nighttime. He has now came down to 10 o'clock at night. I'm like, well, all right. Maybe we'll switch. Well, he does that for about a week and a half to 2 weeks. I finally get back in there. I get sitting it pretty hard again. And Sneakers shows up one evening, about 5:30, 6 o'clock. And I'm like, all right, this is good. Well, short story short, that was the last time Sneakers showed up for a long time. So it got hard there for 2 weeks, and then we got in the rut, and then Sneakers showed up again, and Sneakers showed up with an even bigger buck than him. It's like, all right, well, I'm gonna hunt these two cats. Well, I put the camera on video mode. It is now middle of October. We're getting into the rut. Well, we're coming down. Excuse me, guys. But we're coming down to about a week and a half left October. Getting ready to go in November. And the rut's pretty well here. If it's not fully here, it's coming. Well, them big boys show up that night. Set the camera on video. And we never get nothing. After we set on video, we don't get nothing. I have Sneaker roll through the next night alone. Check a scrape. He's gone. And then I set the camera back to photo, and I get nothing. I get nothing of Sneakers. That was the last I heard of. That was the last I seen of him. So I hunt the rut. I keep hunting the rut hard, and I've just now moved my spots to the back of the property. I'm like, well, Sneakers ain't showing up to this, so Sneakers has moved. He's now somewhere else. I sat a different stand every day during the rut a lot because it was, well, he ain't showing up here. So where is he now? Is he at this stand? 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 No. It just kept being no. Well, it comes down to November 14th. And I said, this is the day. If I don't kill him tonight, and if I don't kill him tomorrow, I'm not killing Sneakers this year. Sneakers is going to be a buck that's going to go on until next year, or someone else will get him during the rifle. It's November 14th. I have to get down early because my cousin's playing a playoff game, and, well, I support family, so I wanted to go to his playoff game, so I had to get down early that night, about a half hour, about 15 minutes early. Yeah, it sucks, but to me, this is much more important to me than this right here. Hunting's huge. That's my favorite passion to do, but there's also other things that have to come before hunting in your life, and you got to understand that. Sometimes you got to take certain risks and certain other things before hunting. Hunting is a passion you like to do, but when it comes down to family, family's first. Hunting is behind that. Your job, your family, and then it's hunting. If everything's good at your house, and then it's hunting. But we had that, so I hunt. I'm sitting there. I see nothing. I haven't seen anything of Sneakers in 3 weeks, but I'm back in the stand that he's been daylight that he was at the whole first 2 weeks of October. I'm like, well, he's gonna slip back through here. It's now the rut for sure. Excuse me, but it's now about the tail end of the rut. Well, he never showed up. Well, so I walk out to the field. I'm like, well, I'm going to go nice and slow, keep the arrow in the bow, and keep my release up close in case something happens. That's just a quick draw back. Nothing happened. I walk out to the field and I see something like 300 yards off in the distance. And I'm like, that's Sneakers. Here he is. But I didn't know what it was. But I sat there for a minute and I told myself, if I don't kill Sneakers tomorrow, I'm not going to be the one to kill him. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen tomorrow. And when I mean tomorrow was November 15th. The big day here in the state of Michigan. Opening day of rifle. That's the biggest day of the year for everyone. For most. It's a big day for me, even though I'm more of an archery guy. But it is now the night of opening. It's now the night before opening day. I'm getting all my gear around. I'm checking cameras hard. Non-stop. Getting my plan together for the opening day of rifle season. I get nothing. On cameras, and it's like, wow, well, okay. Well, the morning time, it was 60 degrees and foggy. Crazy. Well, no, it was 50 degrees and foggy. Crazy opening morning of rifle. I go to a different property. I'm like, well, this property. I actually went to my grandpa's, which you guys see now. I'm like, well, I'm gonna sit in the blind. I'll see what happens. I'm after one certain buck, and that's over at the other property. It's not here, but I did have a couple decent bucks over at Grandpa's that would linger around, and I called them a bunch of. I actually never named them because I could never get them daylighted regularly like this one did. This one was only named Sneakers a week before bow season. I named him Sneakers for a reason, and it's because he was sneaking around all the time. And there's also because Sneakers is candy. I like candy. A Snickers, well, more like Snickers, but I call him Sneakers because he'd sneak. You know, some night he'll be this time, the next night he'll be this time, or he won't show up for these certain amount of days. He's gone. He was sneaking around because I only had him on one camera the whole time, even though I had 4 other cameras there. I only got him in that one. But I was at my grandpa's that morning and I get nothing. I watch the cameras on both properties and I get nothing. So I get down about 11:30. I come home. I got yard work to get done that day because it's beautiful. It was just windy, really windy. The temperature was actually going down that day too. It was just really windy. Well, it now goes about 1:30. I'm like, oh, I'm still in the middle of leaf cleanup on the yard actually. I said, well, I got to get this done because I'd like to get to my stand about 2 o'clock. I'd like to leave here. I'd like to get out there early because most hunters will go out about 2:30, 3 o'clock. It's 1:30. I get things put away. Come in the house. I tell my mom, hey, I love you. Tell her I love you. She goes, good luck. I said, yeah. I go, thank you. And I'll see you when I get home. And I pull out of the driveway. It's about 1:40. I get over the property. It's about 1:55. I get dressed, my clothes on, I collect my thoughts, and I was talking to my buddies. They go, why are you loading your gun at the truck? Well, we were talking on the phone. I go, well, because you never know what can happen on the walk-in. I said, you absolutely never know what's going to happen on the walk-in. He could be right there as soon as you step in the woods. You don't know. I said, right here is the place to load your gun. I was using my 450 that day. I have no strap for it for my shoulder, so I got to kind of have it up like this and my arms like this, and I reach in my box to grab 2 more shells out, and I put them in my pocket, and I zip my pocket on my coat because it's a zip pocket. I was trying to show you an idea, but kind of be here, and I zip it up. And I'm walking through a cornfield. I'm crossing a creek. My tree stands over like this. I cross this path. It's a drainage ditch. Cross it. Get on the trail and I get walking. You walk like this, and you turn a corner to go this way to my stand. Well, I get on the trail and I get walking this way. about 10 to 15 yards, and I stop. I hear something. It's kind of a on a tree. I don't know at that time, but all I hear is and to me, I'm a hunter. I know what I'm doing. To me, it's stop, look. I look first, keep the gun down, and I look again. And when I look the second time, I see it. The rack. I'm like, this is a good buck. I pull up my gun, clip up my scope cap, put it on fire. Boom! Miss. So now at this time, it's still sitting there, even after I miss. So this time, I'm in rush mode. Like, my heart keeps pounding. I'm pounding. I'm pumping now. I'm pumping blood now. I'm pounding. I'm in adrenaline, or whatever you call it. But I quickly undo my gun, throw the other one out. Trying to get down here in my pocket. Trying to get the other one out. Trying to get the other one out of the pocket. I throw it in, throw it up. Boom! I hit it. It just starts walking off, limping off. One leg broke. So I'm quickly in here, propping, opening in, throwing it out, getting another one in there. Boom! I'm doing it again because it's like, I got another shell. If you're just going to walk off, well, I'm going to put another one in you. There is no way I'm just going to let you just walk off when I got another shell. I can just put in you and then drop you. I'm like, I don't miss twice. I don't miss 3 times. I'm Aiden Crow for a reason. I shouldn't get too cocky because then I will miss. But I hit him again, drops. I'm like, boom, baby. I'm like, boom. I'm like, I just tagged out because I used my other buck tag earlier on in the season, and I was saving this one for the exact buck called Sneakers. And I also told myself the day before, if I don't kill him tomorrow, I'm not going to kill him at all. And I also said I will kill him on the back side of the property. I literally said it's going to happen back there, or it's not going to help happen anywhere else. Well, I drop him. I'm making phone calls. I get him out. At this point, it's a half hour after the shot. I take it around to show my family. I get home. While I get thinking of it on the way home, after taking pictures, I get looking at the rack. I'm like, this buck looks familiar. And I get thinking, I go, that's Sneakers. I shot Sneakers. The buck Sneakers. And this. Oh, man. Gosh darn it. Oh. Sorry, guys. The buck Sneakers, and I always called him Sneakers, and I knew it was him because of this right here, the split brown. And he had the little weird curve at the end of him. And one thing unique about him was always this right here. He's a buck that holds a lot to me. Nice 9-pointer. Whoops. I'm going to put him back up now before it head breaks. I dropped him. I get him home. I'm like, this is Sneakers. Like, this is huge. Like, and this is when it really settles into me. Like, I just shot the buck I named Sneakers. It was unique. It settles in I'm almost in tears because, like, I did it. After I set my goal all summer, I mean, the whole time, after I watched them for 2 months, it happened. A buck I named Sneakers. A buck that I named. And that right there, guys, includes the story of Sneakers. He's not your biggest buck of all, but he's a good one to me. And when you ask what I am as a hunter, I'm going to sit here and say there's times I go for meat and there's times I go for the trophy. But there's also just times I go to be in the woods, because the woods brings peace, happiness, and joy. I love being in the woods. There's nothing better than being out there in God's creation. And when he gives you time to be in the woods, you accept that and you take that time. He lets you to be out there in the woods. And God will tell you when it's time for you to get one. And God will make it special in any way, type of form for you, just like he did me. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little video I did today, just to talk about my buck, Sneakers. I just want to do something a little bit different after we've been doing a lot of outside stuff lately. And now today the weather is actually colder out again. We're going to get down to like 5 degrees tonight in March. And there is snow out there at the current moment in time. And the wind's also blowing about 45 miles per hour again to 50. It's been insane, but it's all right. So I figured there's no better day than to do this right here, to get something out there for you guys. It's just something a little bit different. See what you guys think about some of these, because I think I am going to sit down and just do some of these talks sometimes, instead of always doing this and this and this and this, because we do a lot that we're going to start piling in. And then I could be absent for a week here come later on this week. So hopefully this isn't the last video of the week. But if it is, it is. And we'll get something out next week when I get home from my fishing trip. If I decide to film on this trip, I'd like to, but we'll see how things work out. But I hope you all had a great day. And keep showing me support. Go down below, hit that like, and subscribe. We can try. It would be nice to get as many subscribers as we can get. I'm now up to 32, I think, 31, 32. We're nowhere near the goal I want to be at yet. But we're growing every day. The more and more videos we get out there, the more content we get, we're going to grow. So, with that being said, I will catch you guys on the next video. At what again? Aiden Curl Productions. And that's it.